Raging violence in our country and the quest for solution is topmost on our minds. This is Violence Free World. My name is Cally Ikpe, and today I'm privileged to have as guest on the program a veteran politician, an elder statesman, the firebrand Alhaji Buba Galadima. You're welcome to the program, Alhaji.
Thank you, Cally, for having me on this.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go right into the conversation, but right after this special report. We're here. The role of the media has recently come under scrutiny following the protracted bloodletting and violence that has engulfed our country.
This will not be time for video. Get out! Get out! Get out!
It has come to the fore that issues such as hate speech, misrepresentation of fact, and biased reportage have ultimately added fuel to the ongoing fire.
The mainstream media chooses which victim to victimize and which victim to support. That is why most of us, even as activists, did not say anything about the innocents.
Many believe that the media has become an instrument of propaganda and blackmail, a trend that negates its traditional role of creating a peaceful and harmonious atmosphere. While it may seem convenient to blame the largely unregulated social media, there is abundant evidence that the traditional media, that is, radio, television and newspapers, more often than not, lend themselves to false, biased and unconfirmed reports. This in itself has helped to escalate the ongoing violence in no small way.
I am not saying that we should underreport crimes, but the more you give them those platforms, because they are calling for attention, the more they feel like they have succeeded or they are succeeding. So it's important for the media not only to do balancing, but also to be more patriotic in its reportage of the entirety of the situation.
Ethnic profiling, for instance, gained much ground from a reporting pattern that persisted unchecked for a long time. There is also the challenge of practitioners turning deaf ears to certain developments where sentiments and special interests are involved.
The mainstream media are paid by the security apparatus, they are paid by corrupt government officials to keep quiet. They only talk on that which interests them and that which is their interest. That which is in their interest will attract the international media.
Finally, just as some people have turned acts of violence like kidnapping, banditry, and even insurgency into a business, it is equally believed that the media could help bring about peace if professionalism, empathy, and patriotism are brought to bear on news reportage as we crave a violence-free Nigeria. This is Violence Free World. I'm still here with my guest, Alhaji Buba Galadima. Now, there's a thinking that the violence that we experience as a people in Nigeria today is intended to deliberately keep us distracted while the orchestrators go on to make money. Do you think this is what is going on?
What we hear is that those, for example, that kidnap on the highway, sell their victims to another set of people, and those people will sell. By the end, those who buy these victims and keep them somewhere are people living in palatial hotels. And those who did the kidnapping earn less than 50,000 naira per person, but those who sell can sell for 10 million naira per person. So we have an inherent problem. We are only attacking the symptom. We've not attacked the root cause. What is it that motivates people to go into such heinous crime? That is the issue we have to address. How did we come about that? And for me, it is very simple. When this issue started in Plateau, ethnic profiling and kidnapping and abduction, in the 70s and 80s, I was a very young man, national youth leader of the MPN. I had warned that time that this can snowball into another thing. It built a hatred among the ethnic groups and the Fulani and the Hausa settlers in that area. In fact, I don't call them Hausa because most of the tribes that are referred to as Hausa in Plateau were ethnic tribes from Borno, Yobe, Jigawa, Adamawa, and Taraba, who came who came to do mining activities right from colonial times. The mere fact that they are Muslims and they bear Muslim names, they are being referred to as Hausa. And most Nigerians don't even understand that. The Hausas in Plateau are mostly people who are residing in cosmopolitan areas like Jos. Not in the bush, not in the villages as you see them. And look at it now where we find ourselves. The Fulanis in Plateau were dispossessed of their cows, of their treasure. They now carried AK-47. And government should have known this ab initio. Ab initio. The only government that had decisively dealt with that matter was General Olusegun Obasanjo's government. When he used 6 people to impeach Darie, I think Nigerians should remember. And when in an event, a pastor was addressing him on ethnic profiling, Obasanjo carried stick and said, "Pastor, my hood, my..." You remember that time? He was the only person that was bold enough of all the Nigerian leaders to address that matter and suppressed it. And then it resurfaced because some people thought they've got a fresh air under Jonathan. And now it has snowballed to a national calamity because all the Fulanis have been dispossessed of their cattle completely. Man must work. If they don't have cattle to make a living, they may have AK-47.
Just like you cannot take a gun from someone and give him nothing in return. Well said, Alhaji. Now, press inadvertently had given vent to these talks of balkanization. If Nigeria was even going to split into segments, various countries, how many will be enough? Will 100 be enough? Will 1,000 be enough? Is that the way to go?
No. It's not the way to go. It's not in your interest. It's not in mine. Nor is it in anybody's interest here. We are better as one Nigeria. We are better as one Nigeria. What we lack are leaders with large heart that accommodates everybody and have everybody the sense of feeling that they belong. Not all of us could be presidents at the same time. And once we are practicing democracy, we should practice the tenets of democracy to the letter. There is no halfway about it. Democracy is about numbers. And thank God, there is no tribe in Nigeria, that is more than 35% of the population. Therefore, every tribe, for them to win any national election, have to have the support of other people. So we should all strive to have that large heart and accommodate. And we can easily be identified. Go to the office of an Igbo man, a Hausa man, a Yoruba man, a Tiv man, an Igala man, a Idoma man, Kanuri man, or Nupe man. If he's a minister, look at his office. How many people of other ethnic groups is he working with? If you say we started with 2 regions, north and south. We became 3 regions, east, west, and north. We became 4 regions, including Midwest. We became 12. We became 19. Now we are 36. People are still clamoring for states. That's why when people say we must restructure, I laugh. What are we structuring? Physical restructuring or restructuring our attitude to belong? They have done restructuring in Malaysia. It paid them off. It paid them off. There are a lot of things that we need to restructure, but more so our own attitude to each other. We must accept each other. We must not only accept each other, but we must respect each other. If we are looking at ethnicity or tribe, and we want to base our balkanization on the basis of tribe, I want to assure you that even in the southwest, which is being looked at as homogeneous, Lagos people or Ekiti people will never accept to be part of all the western region. I want to assure you that one. And even in the southeast, the Ebonyi man who is being regarded as third-class Igbo would never accept to be part of Biafra. Don't talk of the south, including the Ikwere or the Kalabari or the Atam or the Ibibio or Ika, even Ika. So what are we talking about? All of us need each other. What we need to do is to tolerate ourselves. For how many? If you balkanize based on tribe, there are 82 ethnic groups from Goza local government of Borno. So each of them will have a country.
One local government.
One local government. So when people talk, oh, it is ethnic this, I just laugh because they don't understand. There are people who profess to be educated, professors, doctors. They don't even know their country. They don't even know their country. It's on record that 80% of our commonwealth is consumed or is being pilfered by those who govern us. So how can we develop? So the cost of governance is exorbitantly high. How do we reduce it? Which is simple. If you are talking of restructuring, these are the kind of issues that I thought people will be talking about, not physical restructuring. Now, I want to say that if you come to Yobe and say you want to merge them into Northeast to become one region, I'm sure you will make you will meet a violent reaction from the people, and nobody will accept that even to go back to Borno, let alone Northeast. And this also goes for every state of the federation. Those who are enjoying status can never accept to go into regionalism. But there are a lot of things we could do to strengthen our system.
Well, Elijah, I'm sure we won't keep going around in circles, and someone is listening, basically. I will come back. There's so much that we need to touch on, but that will be after we return from this break. This is Violence Free War. We'll be right back after this time out. This is Violence Free World. I'm still here with my guest, Alhaji Buba Galadima. Okay, Alhaji, governors of Benue and Taraba are different for recently made calls that suggested they preferred a system where private licensing of guns prevails because the system cannot guarantee our protection anymore. So people should begin to bear arms. Individuals should begin to bear arms. Do you subscribe to that kind of thought?
There is no problem without solution. These security challenges is because we don't have leaders with the will to tackle it. It could be tackled. But there are things we could do that will make it difficult for us to retrieve the past. And I want to give you an example. When Obasanjo came, and some governors of the South wanted to do resource control, they armed the youth. They armed the youth with guns. Do you know where that has taken us to? Could they retrieve the guns from them? So why do we start what we cannot live with? So, whatever difficulties and challenges we are facing, let's sit down as people and put our heads together. We can find solution. Aren't these bandits and criminals not living with us?
Yeah.
So it means we know them, or the authorities know them. If the authorities don't know them, it means their apparatus of state security are not functioning and don't know what they are doing. Get rid of them and bring those that could do the job. It is not about my people. It is not about my tribe. It is not about the man comes from my place. It is about who could do that job. We must look for leaders that are prepared to take the responsibility of leadership. Leaders with foresight. Leaders that know exactly what they want this country to be, where it should be in a space of time. And they plan to get to that point. We are tired of bedeviling ourselves with people that are unprepared for the responsibilities of leadership, leaders without foresight, leaders without a plan, and leaders that we cannot hold responsible.
The three dominant tribes in Nigeria has this sense of entitlement to public offices, the presidency. It is the Igbo, it is the Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba that we keep talking about always. Where is the place of the ordinary or the smaller tribes?
Have you been honest to and just to the Idoma people?
Yes, me personally, I clamor for them to ascend the governorship of the state. Seriously, haven't looked at what the others have done. What special advantage has it given me or given to where they come from? And I think that should be the attitude generally. Well, you're turning the interview around now.
I'm not turning the interview. I didn't even know that you're a active man. I just asked from where you are.
Yes.
If you had told me you are from Yobe like me, I could have said something. If you tell me you are from Niger, there is no state in Nigeria that you will tell me you are from this state and I will tell you the lapses in this. These are crimes we commit against ourselves. The Hausa, the Fulani, and the Hausa, Fulani, or whatever you call them, the Igbo and the Yoruba, they are doing this because me and you are not united. If we are united, none of them could be president without our support. And no two of them could be president in Nigeria without the rest of us. Do you think they can? Do the permutation and tell me. Which of the tribes, the three you are talking about, that any two of them alone can elect a president of Nigeria? None. So there is a distrust between me, you, him, or her. We cannot come together. And this is why Nigeria will remain one, because of the contradictions of our differences. And this is why they can always load it on us. If I want to be president, I'm Bade from Yobe. The only thing I'm known for is that when you chop people's money, you are a thief man. When you chop people's money, they will take you to Gashua prison. Or if you become a threat to national security, they take you there. That's what we are known for. So, the truth of the matter is that if we trust ourselves, and if a thief man can be large-hearted and make friends all over the country, he can be voted for. After all, Ijo man won election in Nigeria. But we distrust each other. We don't really trust each other. So any group of people can load it over us. And this is the bad thing about democracy, because it is about number.
Well, interesting. Now, to the solutions. Dialogue has been mentioned too many times as the most dependable measure that we can apply to give us a solution. Not this rhetoric of fury, everybody talking from different directions and talking tough. How would Buba Galadima tell me now that we can better manage all of our opinions and coordinate and achieve that oneness, that peace that every man craves for? How is this possible? How is this workable?
You see, Cally, you just told me that you are a thief man. If you are a thief man, you are a product of northern Nigeria. And if you are a thief man, you should have known that there was once a man called Sardauna of Sokoto. He was the leader of northern Nigeria. At that time, 90% of thief people could die for a cause believed or promoted by the Sardauna of Sokoto. They were not Muslims. They were not Fulanis. He was a Fulani man. Because Sardauna had a large heart, he was accommodating. And in his style of leadership, there were 13 provinces in northern Nigeria. That anything that is meant for Sokoto would also be found in Benue, would be found in Plateau, would be found in Borno. When the Wilkinson's Commission came to talk on marginalization, and they took inventory of what was done in northern Nigeria, they rated Sokoto last but one, where the Sardauna himself came from. And he had only one house. Our problem now is that we don't have leaders who belong to all of us. We have leaders who belong to their family, their immediate tribe, and where they come from. And coming back to your question, dialogue is the ultimate of what, even if we fight eventually and you defeat me militarily, winning my heart, we have to sit down on the table to dialogue. We have seen this happen with Biafra in Nigeria when Gawan brought the 3 R's. So, world over, even as enemies, they fight and one defeats the other. You have to soothe the hearts of those that were defeated and make them feel human beings. Make them feel they belong. This is what we lack. This is why there were agitations. People are talking with passion, with militancy, and everybody wants to fight. Everybody wants to bring down the republic. It's because we have not yet gotten the leaders that we deserve for a plural society like Nigeria.
Well, Alhaji Buba Galadima, I think that's a very good point to leave it. At this point, I'd like to thank you very much for your time, for your insights. God willing, you will definitely live to see a peaceful, better Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me on this program.
Okay. Well, I've been speaking with Alhaji Buba Galadima, veteran politician and elder statesman. This has been Violence Free World. My name is Cally Ikpe. Same time next week promises even a better edition if you were endeavored to be here. But until then, please remember to remain on the road to a violence-free Nigeria. Thank you for watching.
No